This is your review for the Pythagorean theorem. Before you begin to solve for a missing side, label all of your sides. For ease and continuity, let's use the same numbering system. I always use A to mark my shortest side, B to mark the middle side, and C for the hypotenuse. Let's say we had to solve for the hypotenuse. Still begin by labeling your sides. C, A for the shortest, B for the one in the middle. In this case, we have 3 for side A, 4 for side B, and we are looking for side C. Take the numbers that are on those sides and replace them into the formula, 3 and 4. Now solve. 3 squared is 9. 4 squared is 16. The sum of those two numbers is 25. C squared is equal to 25. If we want C to stand alone, we need to take the root of C. If we do that to one side of the equation, we must do it to the other side of the equation. The square root of C squared is simply C. The square root of 25 is 5. The answer to this hypotenuse then is 5. Let's look at a problem where we're solving for a leg. Begin again with labeling C, A, B. You'll notice I've written the problems different than I have in previous years. Instead of looking at A squared plus B squared equaling C squared, I've changed the equation by manipulating the information. It's now C squared minus B squared, or C squared minus A squared. The formulas are the same. Just for some of us, this is easier to remember. When we begin for solving for a leg, again, label your parts, C, A, and B. In this particular problem, we have 13 and we have 12. Replace C with 13, replace B with the 12, and begin to solve. 13 squared is 169, and 12 squared is 144. With those two numbers into our formula, we now need to subtract. 169, take away 144, leaves us with 25. 25 is equal to A squared. Just as in the previous problem, we need to take the square root of both sides to finish this. 25 is equal to A squared. The root of A squared is simply A, which allows us to take the root of 25. Again, the answer to this problem is 5. So rather than thinking of it as just one problem and having to think algebraically, we have a formula listed for just the hypotenuse, and we've manipulated the problem, or the formula, for just the leg. Pythagorean theorem. We can also use this theorem to prove if 3 sides make a right angle triangle. Is this a right angle or not? We begin by labeling our sides. C is always our longest. Let's make A our shortest, and B the medium one. We're going to use the same formula. A squared plus B squared is C squared. And we're going to begin to substitute in the information that we have. 6.5 squared, 8 squared, equaling 14 squared. We're going to solve this problem and see if it is a true statement. 6.5 squared is 42.25. 8 squared is 64, and 14 squared is 196. We're going to add the two numbers on the left-hand side and see if they indeed have a sum of 196. When we add them, those two have a sum of 106.25, obviously not equal to 196. This means that this particular angle is not 90 degrees. Let's look at the formula again. On the left-hand side, the formula is written in its traditional format. A squared plus b squared is equal to c squared. This is the formula easiest to use when you are solving for hypotenuse. On the right-hand side, the formula has been manipulated to make it easier when you are solving for a leg. The two formulas have the exact same meaning. If you prefer, and you are solving for a leg, you can substitute into the hypotenuse formula, and you will have to then use some algebraic manipulation in order to find your answer.